What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotic and the commissioner of the Ocean League. Welcome to the playoffs. This is game of the week for round number 1 of the Ocean League Season 3 playoffs. It is going to be a fantastic week. Only one battle per division this time around. Next week, we're going to have the quarterfinals, the week after the semifinals, and then boom, week after that, we got the finals of both leagues. So, let's go ahead and jump into it. This playoffs, like I said, has 4 rounds to it, so this is kind of like the qualifier. The top 4 seeds in each conference, each league, had a bye. So the playoffs were structured like this. Top 4 get a bye, then it was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 play each other for a chance to play against the top 4, okay? So whichever ones of those wins come out of that matchup, go and play the top 4, and then they have their game, then it's the semifinals, and then there's the finals, okay? Now, we are here with 2 great games of the week, and I'm really excited for the second one specifically. There's someone who's been asking a long time to get game of the week, and they finally got it. So I'm excited for that one, but we're going to go ahead and talk about game of the week for division number 1 first. Guys, before we do, leave a like on the video. We're always trying to reach 40 likes on the videos. Okay, you guys absolutely crushed a couple weeks back with the game of the week. I'm hoping you guys can do the same this time around. The support is incredible. I really do appreciate it, okay? But let's go ahead and jump into the matchup for the first battle. We have TNT against Friendly. Now, Friendly has been on Game of the Week, I think, like 3 times now. It's crazy, but he just keeps getting it. So, why not? TNT, I don't recall seeing Mega Arrow, so I think this is his first one. Regardless, let's take a look at the matchups here. Scizor. Scizor is a Pokemon, and Scizor is a Pokemon that just destroys this roster. Clefable doesn't appreciate it. Aerodactyl doesn't appreciate it. Nidoking, if he gets the Swords answer to, does not appreciate it. Ribombee, no. I mean, it goes on and on. It's very, very difficult for TNT to switch on Scizor. But I think he has a couple of answers with a defensive Blastoise, with a Talonflame because Scizor doesn't get a rock move. I think it's very solid as a way to handle the Scizor. And at the same time, Jirachi does get Fire Punch, it does outspeed it, and it does resist the Bullet Punch, and has Recovery and Wish. So I feel like there's certain things that he can do to handle it, but it's still not very nice to deal with, especially later on, because if it's late in the game and these Pokemon are weakened or gone, then Scizor can really just clean house, and Friendly's team all season long, and all the games that we've been doing, has been doing exactly that. How is Friendly doing that though? Friendly is doing that with something like Garchomp and Victini, which are absolutely incredible. Victini can really pressure this team a lot, and it's forcing Blastoise to be defensive, and if it does have to be defensive to handle Victini, well, it's not going to be able to handle Scizor as well as he wants it to, right? That's kind of the problem that they're encountering, but it's not the end of the world. I definitely think he's still got some decent checks. Obviously, Aerodactyl is able to take some hits because it resists the fire type attacks just like the Blastoise does. But then there's just like a whole ass Garchomp and Rotom Wash, and this team just does not appreciate Rotom Wash's stats either. Going to be very difficult, I think, for TNT based on Friendly's first 4 Pokemon just off of Team Preview. Same time, fighting type is Cobalion, which is not bad, just has a couple of difficult matchups here with the Crobat, with the Rotom Wash. If it just doesn't come, and if the Aerodactyl gets weakened, then I can see Blissey just walling up against the entirety of the roster. But here, let's be honest. With a team with Jirachi, there's a way. When there is a Jirachi, and there's a Serene Gracing, Iron Heading, Zen Headbutting, Heart Stamping Jirachi, there is a way. So you never know what can happen with Serene Grace. I do think that the Jirachi is definitely a must bring in the situation, though it hits a lot of things for really good damage. It can weaken things with the Psychic coverage and gets Fire coverage as well for the Scizor. Also gets Fairy coverage and Ice coverage for the Garchomp if he really needs to. So I feel like having Jirachi come is going to be a must. Clefable getting up rocks potentially for him, but also being a really good cleric for the Jirachi, getting in the slow teleport back into it, getting free switches into Aerodactyl and Nidoking, which can really start breaking Friendly's team, because as good as Fran's team is offensively against TNT's, it really doesn't have many switch-ins to a Nidoking or a Mega Aerodactyl outside of a very few niche things like Whimsicott going for Stun Spore against it, I guess Rotom resisting the dual wing beat, Garchomp, let's say, just regular Garchomp with Rough Skin Rocky Helmet against the dual wing beat, you're taking 60% right there, so you really got to be careful if you're TNT going for a dual wing beat against something like the Garchomp. At the end of the day, I definitely think that Friendly has the matchup though. TNT has a way to win the game. It's just going to be a very difficult out, and honestly, it would take me a lot longer than just this quick matchup here, quick looking at the screen to decide like, okay, what would be a good win condition than just I don't know, offensive Aerodactyl. I think something that'd be really solid here is Galarian Moltres. Looking at it, what it does is it has the dark and the flying coverage, which hits everything for great damage outside of the Blissey. Now, if Blissey doesn't come, or if Blissey, the game plan is to weaken that thing and get rid of it with like a Luring Nidoking, maybe a mix set with like a superpower on it, you can really get rid of the Blissey effectively, at least in theory. And if that happens, then Galarian Moltres can really go in against a lot of the team with like an agility set, a Resto Chesto with just the with the coverage in Fiery Wrath and like Hurricane or something. So I definitely could see that coming. We'll see what happens, but that's going to be TNT's team. That's going to be Friendly's team. Let's take a look at what we think are going to come. I definitely think in terms of Pokemon, what that TNT will bring, not necessarily what I expect to come. Actually, no, we'll go with what I expect to come. That's what we've been doing all year long. I don't know why I just said that, but what I expect to come, what I would bring if I was in this position. Mega Aerodactyl is a must. I think the Nidoking, Clefable, and Jirachi are also all musts. So these 4 Pokemon just are really the best way to pressure his team. I think Blastoise has a good niche here because it's able to resist the Scissor's Steel type attacks and the Victini's Fire type attacks as well, which not a lot of this team actually does, which is great. Electivire could be a nice way to come in off the Rotom as a way to just be like an Assault Vest set. With Motor Drive, you're immune to the Volt Switch. Still get coverage for Blissey with fighting type attacks. I think it's a possibility. It gets coverage as well for the Garchomp, something more like Volt Switch, Volt Switch, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, and then like coverage or something. Or instead of Fire Punch, you run Flamethrower or something. So I definitely see that as a possibility as well. So you know what? We're gonna say this. We're going to say Clefable, Mega Aerodactyl, Nidoking, Jirachi, Blastoise, and Electivire as the 6 for TNT that I would bring, even though I did mention the whole thing about Moltres, Galar. There's a lot of different Pokemon on this team. Then for Friendly, again, I think the first 3, Scizor, Garchomp, Victini, are all fantastic here. I think Blissey, it has a really good niche here. If it comes, it can be either an absolute blowout for him or just really hurt him. But I think his team is built really well to handle that, so I would not be surprised to see it come. I think Crobat is actually, you know what? No, Crobat is Crobat's not great at all here. What else could come? I think Rotom is actually a must here. Rotom is really good. It can sponge a lot of different hits. His only ground type is weak to Hydro Pump, and his only other electric immunity in the Electivire does not want to get burnt with Will-O-Wisp, so that could be a possibility as well. That's 5 Mons at this point, and I think after that I might say if he can weaken the Moltres, then Poltegeist can go in if the Clefable is not unaware, and we don't know if it's going to be unaware or not. We don't. But I can see that coming, and it can also be specs and putting a lot of work. I don't see Munchlax coming, and if it does, I mean, that's food for something like Garchomp or Scizor. And then Moltres, like I said, I think can be weakened well. So I think Poltegeist, even if it was just specs, can put in a lot of work. So I'm going to say Poltegeist is the final one. So we're going to see what the matchup is, and let's go ahead and jump into it. If I can move the screen, boom, there we go. And there's a Golisopod on the screen there. Okay, let's adjust things a bit. So, looking at this, we have TNT bringing quite a few different Pokemon than I expected. Wow. All right, well, there is a Talonflame there. Did not expect to see the Talonflame here. And there is a Cobalion. Cobalion made sense with the Blissey especially. The fact that Blissey did come makes it a lot more useful now. And looking at Fran's team, we do see the top 4, and then we see the Blissey, which we expected, and then we see the Golisopod instead. Maybe it's there to get up spikes, maybe it's there to be just an annoyance. Jirachi can't really touch it too much outside of like special moves, and it may be running a physical set, so again, who knows? But let's go ahead and jump into it. In terms of lead matchup, I'm thinking we're going to see a Rotom lead against a Jirachi lead, I'd say. Or maybe, no, I'll say a Cobalion. Rotom versus Cobalion is my thought process. We're going to go slow. We're going to go music off, and boom, let's do it. So what do we have here? We have leads of Rotom Wash. We are correct here. Fantastic. And we have a lead of Talonflame. Okay, not great for TNT. As it goes for U-turn, revealing the Rotom is not scarfed, so that's good knowledge to have. It goes into the Jirachi, and the Rotom will end up going for a Volt Switch here. So both teams get momentum off. It doesn't really help out either. Well, it doesn't really help out TNT, but helps out Fran a lot. Getting to the Garchomp, which will outspeed that Jirachi as he goes into the Aerodactyl. On the rocks. Okay, so that's nice that he gets in the Aerodactyl first. This thing does get Ice Fang, but you really want him to not get up rocks. Now the Mega Evolution is going to come out here, and we see an Ice Fang come out, doing nothing to the Rotom. No Rocky Helmet either. Good to know. It is leftovers. Again, just good information to have. Switch out into the Clefable. I hope he brought Rapid Spin or Defog this week, because if he didn't, it's going to be a problem. And already I can tell this Rotom is going to be the problem. The fact that he can Volt Switch around freely is just a nightmare. V-Create, early KO on the Clefable. Oh, that is massive. Getting rid of the Clefable is huge. Now he has no Dragon
immunity, and that's going to cause a lot of problems because his only other dragon resists, and the Jirachi is weak to Earthquake. That sucks. But we see a Surf here coming up from the Blastoise, and Blastoise, like, against the Blissey, it's going to chew that off. We see a Shell Smash here. Maybe you could have gone for that before. Debatable, but we see a Thunder Wave on that Blastoise here. Now it's pretty much in check. We see a double Shell Smash. It's at -2 special defense and -2 defense. Unfortunate. And we see a Seismic Toss out. Not what you want to see if you're the Blissey. Going for Seismic Toss, and there's the paralysis on it. Very unfortunate. And we see another Seismic Toss. If he can't break through this time, he's going to lose his Blastoise here. What's going to happen? We see an Aura Sphere, Chople Berry, and it wouldn't have KO'd anyways. Wow. Super unfortunate. Down was the Blastoise. If he hadn't gone paralyzed, then maybe he'd gone into the Blissey, but still, you can't. It's paralysis. That's what happened. Anyways, in comes the Cobalion. We're going to see the Blissey switch out into the Golisopod. I imagine this goes for a close combat. Here, we see a Rock Polish come out instead. Okay, what's going to happen next here? We're going to see a Swords Dance now. Okay, on the Golisopod. This is +2/+2, dual dancing Cobalion. What's going to go for here? Stone Edge. We see an Aqua Jet come out, and we're going to see another Swords Dance. Okay, it's at +4. Aqua Jet again. Are we going to see a sweep here? Are we going to see a sweep? Stone Edge connects, OHKOs the Golisopod. I'm pretty sure that Scizor can KO. Right? Right? Honestly, if I were him, I would just double out. I'm going to pause it. Okay, so let's pause it. So if I were him, I would have doubled down into something like the Victini, which resists the close combat, and forced him to go for that close combat and lower his defensive stats. And if that happens, you can just keep on firing off that Bullet Punch after the fact, and you're good to go. Doesn't look like it. And we see a close combat here, and that's an OHKO. And guys, actually, no, it's not game because there's the Garchomp. Unless the Garchomp is Sandveil. I would say this, why aren't you going to the Garchomp? You just sacked off your Victini. You had to go into the Garchomp there, man. You had to go into the Garchomp, man. This is unfortunate. It really seems like it's just going to be a 6-0 here. Or 6-0 sweep, reverse sweep, whatever, from the Cobalion. I was not expecting this at all. I did not expect to get to this position. Did not expect to get this position. Close combat once more. And Fran, are you about to take an L because you didn't go into Ruskin Garchomp because you brought Sandveil instead? Is that what's going to happen? Is that what's going to happen? Is that what's going to happen? It didn't even KO. See, you go into the Garchomp, you sack it off, then this thing with -1 defense and a Bullet Punch, you're getting that extra 3%. That is so unfortunate. Fran, come on. Look, you live and you learn. You live and you learn. But this is something that that's so unfortunate because you had it. You had to come back. You start off great against the Clefable, getting rid of that. You start off great getting up rocks against the Aerodactyl coming in. You start off great by getting rid of the Blastoise, the shell smashing Blastoise at that without losing any Pokemon. And then the Cobalion comes in. Damn, that's so unfortunate. I definitely think Cobalion was just fantastic this matchup. TNT, you brought a hell of a set. It put in a lot of work. I'm just going to go back and take a look at his team. It was rock and fighting coverage. Was there anything that resisted the combination? No, nothing resisted that combination. And at +4, it's definitely going to OHKO everything, especially at the +2 to be able to outspeed things like the Crobat or any Scarfers. Damn. Okay, well, hey, good on TNT. TNT advances to the quarterfinals. Franly ends up taking an L early on in the playoffs. Unfortunate, but what's it going to be? At the end of the day, Fran won't make the same mistake. He's going to notice, 12%. I'll remember that. I'll go into my Garchomp. I'll get that damage off on it with the Rocky Helmet, and at the same time, I'll weaken its defensive stats by forcing it to go for something like the close combat, and then Bullet Punch from Scizor will KO. Just wrong order of events, because if that had happened, he would still have access to basically everything. And that's the lesson of today's story. But GG to TNT. Congrats on moving on to the quarterfinals. Let's go ahead and jump into the next matchup, which is going to be between two competitors, and I'm really excited for this one here. It's going to be between Woex and DD. And now DD has been commenting for so long. DD's been commenting on the channel forever, and he's finally getting Game of the Week, so I'm really happy for him. Also happy for Woex. I believe we actually had him on the channel once before for a battle, but we have not had DD. And DD's got a team of Tapu Koko with Mega Gyarados. Super interesting. He's also got one of the best checks to Koko, being Rotom Heat, on his roster as well. He's got a very good team. Honestly, none of the Pokemon on his roster, I look at him like, this is a bad Pokemon. They're all good in their own right. The problem is, outside of Koko, he doesn't have the top tier A level threat. There's some good Pokemon here, there really are, but not insane ones. Now, part of the reason why I think this might have been submitted for Game of the Week is because just off the bat, Mega Gyarados just rips his team in half, especially considering that there's a Skarmory, which is not going to appreciate a Thunderbolt from Koko or a Rotom Heats anything. So I'm not surprised to see that. At the same time though, I don't know if honestly, I'm just saying because like DD's got a really good matchup. The more I look at it, the more and more I look at this, oh my god, just DD has answers for so many things. Rotom and Koko for the Skarmory. Okay, you have access to Rotom as well for the Volcarona. You also have access to Dragalge for that, which is pretty good. Miltank should be able to take many hits if it's especially defensive. Excuse me. Man, I've got this mad cough. If you guys have been watching the streams, by the way, we stream on twitch.tv/MattOshea. We have our Pokemon Shield Nuzlocke, which should be coming to an end pretty soon. So maybe actually today might be the day we're gonna finish it. So make sure to come on by. We should be streaming around like, I don't know, 9 o'clock. We're gonna be doing some Yu-Gi-Oh! And then going to some Pokemon. So like I said, the more I look at it, the more I see DD has answers for what Woex has. Mega Gyarados goes in. Koko and Rotom Heat take care of the Skarmory. What else takes care of the Serperior? Well, there's a Conkeldurr that gets Drain Punch. There's a Miltank that Sap Scepter. Jirachi eats any hit without Hidden Power Fire or Hidden Power Ground or whatever. Rotom Heat should eat any hit as well outside of like a +4 Dragon Pulse. Porygon 2 is there, but there's a Conkeldurr. There's just so much. Yes, there's a Spectrier, but what is Spectrier doing back to Mega Gyarados? It's going for a Will-O-Wisp, and that's it. But there's a Heal-Belling Miltank, and at the same time, there's a Miltank in general. Miltank in general just beats down Spectrier. It gets scrappy, so you can fire off a Body Slam if you really want to. Toxic Stall things, Thunder Wave around, Get Up Rocks, Heal Bell, Milk Drink, all those things. I really think DD's got a good shot at moving on this round. But what does Woex have? What does Woex have that works? There's a Diancie. There's a whole Diancie. Conkeldurr doesn't get Bullet Punch. I'm pretty sure it just gets Mach Punch. So having the ability to just get a healthy Diancie in on the field and then just firing off, whether it's a Diamond Storm or a Power Gem or something, just going to weaken a lot of his team. And if you can weaken things like the Jirachi, force it to go for like a Recover or something or a Wish as you get into a Spectrier, it's going to be really difficult for DD to be able to take those hits. And like, yes, there's a Miltank, but one wrong prediction, you're in trouble. So who knows what's going to happen. Surfetch'd, actually looking at it, has a really cool matchup because it outspeeds quite a bit of things like the Dragalge, the Conkeldurr, and it can fire off powerful moves that are like not super effective against the Dragalge, for example, but a Brave Bird or a knockoff is not appreciating that. Conkeldurr's not appreciating a Brave Bird. Mega Gyarados, I'm pretty sure it won't be able to OHKO Surfetch'd. Surfetch'd actually has some decent bulk. So you fire off a close combat against that, you're OHKOing it. His team has, well, it has some like 2 Ghost types in the Delmise and the Drifloon, while it has 2 Psychic types in Dollar and Jirachi, and it has a Poison type in Dragalge, and a Fairy type in Koko. Close combat from the Surfetch'd is not going to be appreciated at all. Not at all, because it also gets access to those flying type moves. Haxorus can just sweep. Looking at it, Earthquake, really good. What else is there? It's Mold Breaker, Earthquake at that too. It can go for Dragon Claw or Night Slash, and then if you want Swords Dance plus Scale Shock, be really cool too. So we'll see what happens. In terms of leads, in terms of not leads, but matchup, again, not matchup. In terms of the 6 I would bring if I was both teams. If I'm DD, I'm actually bringing both my electric types. I'm bringing Koko, Rotom Heat. I'm also bringing Mega Gyarados, 100%. I'm probably going to bring Conkeldurr here as a way to handle the Porygon 2, get the knockoff against it. I'm going to bring Jirachi as number 6, and then I might go ahead and grab... I might have to go ahead and grab Delmise here, to be honest, just as a way to pseudo handle the Haxorus and make sure it doesn't get too out of hand. But I really want to bring Miltank, and the reason Miltank wants to come is because of that Spectrier. But with Mega Gyarados, you should be fine. It's a tough choice. It's a tough choice. Maybe we drop the Rotom Heat and we bring the Miltank instead, because while Rotom Heat is nice, it's weak to Diancie's Power Gem or Diamond Storm. It's good for certain things, but it's not super necessary in my eyes. So I think it's just like adding more onto it, more like things that he's already really good at. So I think we're gonna say Koko, Gyarados, Conkeldurr, Jirachi, Miltank, and Delmise as the 6 for DD, and then for Woex we're gonna say Mega Diancie, Spectrier. We're gonna say Serperior. No, we're not gonna say Serperior, not Serperior. We're gonna say Mega Diancie, Spectrier, Haxorus, Surfetch'd. I think Webs could be pretty decent here too with Arachnid, but no, not Arachnid. So that's 4. I'm gonna say Volcarona can really do well if things are weakened down. So we'll say Volcarona. We'll say Skarmory as well. I think it's a good mix. Nothing gets momentum outside of Diancie's Baton Pass and Volcarona's U-turn. I don't even think. No, I'm pretty sure Surfetch'd doesn't get U-turn. But it's with a team like this that I'm mentioning, you're gonna want to bring your A game, because if you don't bring your A game and you're not switching out, making the right doubles, then it can be very difficult to get the win. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking for both teams. Let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm gonna go ahead and find the matchup for me, and there it is. And let's go and hide the screen so you can see that. Perfect. Okay, so there's a Stunfisk on the screen here. All right. Didn't expect to see that, but okay. And all right, no Superior, no Haxorus. Very surprised to see no Haxorus, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I definitely think that both teams have a shot. Just off the bat, it looks like DD's team is much scarier. So we're gonna see what happens. In terms of leads, I'm gonna say he's got 2 defoggers, 3 defoggers, and a Rapid Spinner. Yeah, he's got so much removal, so I don't really see Stunfisk being a lead for Rocks. It really isn't that good here. I think a solid lead actually. I think Stunfisk has to be the lead because you just try and like paralyze something and be annoying. Nothing else really wants to lead against this team. So I'm gonna say Stunfisk is the lead here. I think Koko or Rotom is just a really solid lead if I'm DD. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in, see what's gonna happen. We're gonna put this to slow as it's a Spectre lead right off the bat. Okay, well there's no resist, so that's a thing. Spectre is gonna go for, I'm assuming, an Ice or Shadow Ball, as we see it's going to be a Scarf Cryogonal against this Spectre, and it's a leftovers Spectre. So you can fire. Why did you switch out? No, dude. Okay. Woix, there's no reason for you to switch out there. Okay, I'm gonna pause it here. So listen, let's pause it. Bit of knowledge. In my opinion, again, I could be wrong, but listen to my logic. There was no reason to switch out there if I'm Woix, because you got a free Shadow Ball off against it. You know it's Scarfed. What's it gonna do to you? It's going to go for an Ice Beam and break your sub. You hit it with Shadow Ball, it's gonna do a ton of damage. After that, he's gonna make a double. He's gonna have to make a double, but into what? What gets access to rock moves? He's gonna go to Mega Gyarados maybe, but you should outspeed Mega Gyarados with your Volcarona. He's gonna go into Conkeldurr, you outspeed that as well. What are you afraid of? You stay in and you fire off that Shadow Ball, take advantage of the sub that you have, that you worked hard for. You took 75% of your HP on your best Pokemon that you brought basically, and you basically lost 3/4 of HP and didn't get an attack off. You gotta be able to go for that attack there. Anyways, in comes the Rotom Heat on the Volcarona, as we're going to see the Volcarona go for a Quiver Dance, just straight up, just raw Quiver Dance, and we're going to see go for a Psychic now, doing just 35%, getting the special defense drop. That is kind of big there, as we see now a Toxic Mist on the Volcarona. This is not good. And it's a crit too. Oh no, that's bad. Okay, well, he doesn't have to Mega Evolve first turn. That is really bad. That is really, really bad. And we're gonna see he didn't Mega Evolve right away to take advantage of the fact that it's not weak to Bug Buzz. And he's gonna take Rocky Helmet Chip from the Skarmory, as we now see a counter come up from the Skarmory. Interesting. Well, he's got a Porygon 2, and he's also got access to a Stunfisk, which can pretty much wall Koko. So we're gonna see what happens. We see a Nature's Madness come out. Do we see a Taunt as well? We're gonna see, yeah, there we go. That's the play. Well done, good play, D. Good bring. And it can't go for the recovered now, so it's basically stuck here, as we're gonna see a Stunfisk come out once more now, or for the first time rather, and we see a U-turn on that. Great. So now it's gonna go into the Conkeldurr. Now Conkeldurr, if it's a Flame Orb set, it is a Flame Orb set. This thing is about to put in a lot of work here. What's gonna do? Knock off, doesn't KO the, it's a Choice Spec Stunfisk. Oh my god. That is, wow. Wow, in the terrain too, that does some damage. That does some damage. We're going to see switch out into the Skarmory here, and we're going to see, I'm assuming, another knockoff here, or a Drain Punch instead, getting back some recovery. Going to basically lose all that health back from the burn and the knockoff, or the helmet rather. But we're going to see if there's a way for him to get the KO on this. As he goes for a Roost here, we're going to see an Earthquake making that prediction. We see a Drain Punch again. Oh, beautiful. Getting all that health back against this. Now, we can see a Mach Punch here. Is that we're going to see Mach Punch should get the KO at 11%. That's going to be really solid if he does that. We're going to see a Volcarona come out, and Volcarona will be able to resist the fighting type attacks and to resist the Mach Punch, still taking 1/4 of its HP from that Mach Punch. Damn. Wow, that's some big damage. Flamethrower comes out. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Dude, if I'm DD, I cannot go and sack off my Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr is just so good. Unfortunate, but in comes the Gyarados here. Now, Bug was going to come out on that Gyarados. Gyarados resisted, obviously being a flying type still, and there's the Dragonette. And with the... Okay, let's pause it. With everything weakened, Stunfisk is weakened, Skarmory's weakened, P2's at 50%, +1 Gyarados might just win the game here. It was not looking good after the special defense drop into the crit on the Rotom with the Psychic, but things are looking better now. What's gonna happen? Waterfall comes out. Is there a Flame Body Burn? There's the Flame Body Burn. Oh, dude, that sucks. This Gyarados was ready to sweep. This Gyarados was gonna win the game right there, and instead it is basically done. Waterfall's gonna come out. You're not going to KO the Deancey. Would have KO'd if he wasn't burnt, even through the fact that it didn't go for the Mega Evolution. Unfortunate. Wow. Well, in comes the Koko here, I imagine, as it does. Excellent. And we're going to see probably a Thunderbolt. In comes Skarmory. Do we see a Thunderbolt? We see a Thunderbolt. Yeah, I'm right. Wow, I'm actually getting this play spot on. This is awesome. That is so unfortunate. Without that burn, this game would have been over. Instead, we're going to see a U-turn from the stun on the Stunfisk, and he's going to go into the Cryogonal. I guess it wants to protect from the Earth Power coming out, as it does. Now we've got a Scarf Cryogonal to deal with. Now nothing wants to come in and take this hit. Nothing does. So Porygon 2 is going to have to come in freely. So instead, he ends up losing his what is this thing called? That's Stunfisk. That's big. Anyways, this is a Scarf Cryogonal. Can't really touch this thing anymore. In comes the Koko, and just a recover here, super free. So yeah, we're gonna see the recover now, and I imagine we see Nature's Madness into a taunt here. Okay, that's 37%. We know this Koko doesn't have access to Roost, so we're gonna see what's gonna likely be a taunt, right? And it is a taunt, and we're probably gonna go for a tri-attack. Yeah, so this thing has one more hit left in it. If I'm DD, I gotta switch out, as he just stays in doing 15%. Oh, that's unfortunate. Losing this is not good. How many turns left of taunt on this? There should be one more turn left, right? There is at least one more turn left. And we're gonna see Jirachi come out. Gonna go into the Spectre to sack it off. And we see an Ironhead getting the KO on that. So if this is Scarf Jirachi, this game might be over. It depends on the luck. Porygon 2. Tracing Serene Grace. Let's see it. Ironhead, 24%. There we go. That's the game. Honestly, I'm not going to complain, okay? I hate Jirachi with a passion. I hate Serene Grace with a passion. But, is this Scarfed? It is Scarfed. Okay, just want to make sure. Dude, DD had so many opportunities. Losing his Rotom, massive. Making the right play by not Mega Evolving the Gyarados. Big play, the right play paid off for him. And then he got into a position where he could win. The Nature's Madness taunt Koko. Perfect for the situation. Really useful to get rid or weaken at least the Porygon 2. Really well done. And the burn sucked. Props to Wokes. He fought his team, wanted him to win with all that with all his flame bodies and the defense drops into the crits, just super useful for him, but it just wasn't able to happen this time around. DD's team, like I said, had a really good matchup this game. There was just every single time I looked at something that Woex could do to handle it, it just went away because it was that good. DD's matchup. But congrats to DD moving on to the quarterfinals. Woex, thanks for participating in this season, as well as Fran, thanks for participating in this season, both of you, and everyone else who unfortunately did have to get eliminated from the playoffs, and everyone who was eliminated prior to that in the regular season. Guys, thank you for watching today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know by leaving a like on the video, and of course comment your thoughts on the 2 battles we had down below. And let me know, do you guys prefer having 1 battle for each division, so 2 battles a week, or having 4 battles a week with 2 per division? I would love to know. But guys, that's gonna be it for me. Again, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Comment your thoughts on the battle down below. And of course, guys, subscribe to the channel. We are gaining subscribers basically every day at a rate of like 1 or 2 per day, and it's amazing. I love that consistency. I love that growth. But I know if you guys, we have tons of people who are watching who are brand new to the ocean, so make sure to subscribe. Of course, secret word of the day. Don't really have a secret word of the day today. I really don't. But we're just gonna type water. Type in water down below. If you are enjoying a nice glass of water and enjoying the ocean, type in water down below. I'm gonna enjoy some now, okay? I'm gonna enjoy some right now. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all. As always, I will see you all next time.